What's up guys, I'm Random Frank P, and today we're going to be showing off the top 10 cool tech under $50 from all of 2025, highlighting the top 10 purchases you guys made from our cool tech under 50 episodes. If you guys see anything you like, I'm going to have it all listed for you in the description down below so you can check them out. We're going to go through it all, sit tight. It's a jam-packed episode of tech gadgets. Great for some last minute, gift ideas to buy somebody for the holidays or just to ask for yourself. And before we begin, just in time for the holidays, I'm also giving away a free Switch 2 thanks to today's episode sponsor, Whatnot. Whatnot's an online social marketplace where you can discover some of your favorite products like sports cards, Pokemon cards, retro collectibles, all different tech and electronics, with these live auctions kicking off in real time. Our tech streams are always fun, auctioning all sorts of tech gadgets, headsets, mice, keyboards, PC hardware, you name it, with auctions starting at $1, so you can get some steals. And if you stop by previous streams, you see people getting stuff at half off, you know what's up. So to kick off the holidays, we'll be giving away a free Switch 2 during my next stream on Sunday, December 14th at 7 p.m. Eastern. Mark your calendars, I'll be live right on the Whatnot app, so you can come by and hang out, get a chance to get some major discounts on a ton of tech, a free Switch 2, and you can also get $15 off your first purchase when you sign up with my link or scan the QR code. Now, kicking off the episode in the number 10 spot from October's episode is this 4-inch Android MP3 player. Yes, as simple as that. That can be a fully dedicated Spotify player at the desk setup, just like once upon a time we used the Spotify car thing for. This will essentially do the same thing by having your songs and playlists right at the tip of your finger, and I'll show you how it works and get it set up as such. Now, first and foremost, as an Android device, you can literally use this with any app. Just wanted to get that out of the way. It has the full Google Play Store. So like the Spotify car thing, I have this in the horizontal orientation with the app rotation control, because at my desk setup, I had this mounted right to the bottom bezel of my monitor so I could just control my music right in front of me. So while I'm gaming or editing, I can stay in that program and just control Spotify from here. So to do that, what I did was click the source button. It's that little speaker icon inside the UI. This lets you select any of your devices to be the main output. So I picked the desk setup that I'm at. My music will now be playing at my PC. Then this will just remain running as a touchscreen controller now essentially. I have it plugged in with a right angle USB-C cable, so it's always powered on, won't have to be recharged. Might be a little tip if you want to copy this setup, and as a whole, does exactly what I wanted to, just control my Spotify. I know it might sound dumb to some people, but it also might be the perfect solution for others. And you can download your Spotify songs directly to the device with the offline mode capability, so this can work offline in the car or out on a hike. You can use this really anywhere. And with the built-in Bluetooth it has as well, I can then connect this to my speakers around the studio while I'm filming, and just use this to control that. Not a bad pickup at all if you've been chasing something like the Spotify car thing that has since been shut down, and you just want something cheap and easy to fill that void. $50 will help pull it off. Next up at number 9 from May's episode, we have a killer pair of noise-canceling wireless earbuds from CMF, the Buds Pro 2, which sound incredible for the price, but also have some awesome features. Starting off with the charging case that has a built-in dial on the corner, giving you these on-the-fly controls. Each step is nice and tactile as well, definitely a satisfying scroll, but what's also cool is the controls are all customizable. Stock, you can obviously use this to change your volume. You can use it for pausing music or skipping tracks since that dial actuates. And inside the app, you can set it to do things like, double tapping and the holding functions for taking calls, or even doing things like triggering Siri. You guys know I'm all about the macro pads and such on the channel, so having this built in is a pretty cool bonus. And the controls don't end there, because the earbuds themselves also have touch controls on the side as well. You can configure those functions inside the app for what they do, but a bunch of ways to control your music all without needing your phone on you. Now, of course, these sound really good. I wouldn't recommend them if they sound like garbage. If you know how to read an audio frequency chart, you can see they're pretty bassy and warm sounding personally. But as you'd expect, also inside the app, you can completely customize that as well, tuning the different bass levels, and they have a bunch of built-in EQs that you could cycle through for your type of music, or just to see what sounds best for you. You could even create your own EQs, so customize pretty much everything here. They also feature active noise canceling, which is also customizable inside the app. 10th time I've said that. But that's just a lot of really great stuff packed into a pretty budget pair of wireless earbuds, right under $50, and they come in a few different color options as well. All right, now number 8 from June's episode is actually this photo studio. And yes, there is a whole photo studio just in this bag. So check this out. From Puluz, we have this pop-up light box that acts as an all-in-one contained photo studio. It comes with 6 different colored inserts for your backdrop and a reflector, plus an internal light diffuser to mount up top. Plugs in via USB, you can then control the color temperature and the brightness with the built-in control. Now, what I like is you can use this traditionally, straight on, but on top, there's a little cutout for top-down shots, which is perfect for sticking a lens into, or for something as simple as your phone. They have this in a few different sizes, but the one I have here is 12 by 12 by 12, and I just mainly use it with the white and black backdrops for stuff. Like I said, all different colors you can use to complement whatever you're taking pictures of too. This is definitely different from the usual tech gadgets we show off, but if you sell stuff on eBay or Facebook Marketplace, the easiest way to catch people's attention is with a good listing photo. So something like this is gonna get the job done. It's not gonna take up much space at all, since it folds up and can be stored away nicely. I think it's a great buy and a great gift idea as well for right around just $30 too. The number 7 spot from July's episode is something that I think is genuinely awesome, and appears you guys too since it sold so well. And this is not a battery bank, no. This is my phone screen on the back of my phone. You can have an external wireless display of your phone screen in real time thanks to this MagSafe wireless screen mirroring display right at $50. I personally didn't think this would work this well, and was pretty shocked when I got it in and saw how effortless it was to set up and get going. Built in are some extra controls, like to flip the screen's orientation if you mount it upside down. You have your brightness control, and a way to span or widen the display ratio depending on what you have this connected to. Speaking of which, it's compatible with Android, but I have an iPhone, so just to show you guys real quick, literally from the time you power on the device and you pair it with the screen mirroring function in iOS, it takes less than like 5 seconds to pair. You saw that all in real time. And now whatever is on your phone screen is being casted right to the external display. So the main use case for this was like for vlogging and stuff, and that was a big thing, so you could film yourself and see yourself at the same time. Or if you take lots of selfies with your back camera, this is gonna let you see yourself. But you can really use this for anything for your phone. A nifty little integration that I found was useful was just as a remote viewer. So to demo what I mean, we had an issue with our sink over the summer, and I then used this as a remote camera to check the pipes in the ceiling in the basement. From the main line, the valve, some of the smaller pipes we have running up, which isn't easily accessible, but again, using the camera with the built-in flashlight gave me a better view, as I was able to like zoom in and see that all on the screen, which just made everything so much easier. Just a little demo example for you guys. But having a screen extended from your phone wirelessly is a pretty cool gadget, especially for just under $40. Now, next up from last month's episode already, this sold so well that it earned the number 6 spot of the year, is the Fanttik F2 Master wireless rotary tool. And you guys already know they got the super satisfying construction and holder for everything, as this includes 35 bits and tips. Whether it's for drilling, sanding, polishing, cutting, carving, and so on, having a wireless mini rotary tool like this is going to save you a bunch of time and money in the end for all those little projects, as this just has it all. I actually bought this for modifying a Game Boy shell over the summer. I needed to cut and sand a piece of the internal shell for a mod, and I've used this a bunch ever since. Checking it out, the design is nice and sleek. It has an LED ring right around the tip and 5 adjustable speeds up to 25,000 RPM. So that brushless motor inside is going to be strong enough for most tasks, stays pretty quiet as well, and gets a full charge over USB-C in just an hour's time. Now really, each of those 35 tips are going to have their own intended use and purpose, so obviously won't be going over each one, but outside of your typical Dremel use, I've been seeing these pop up more and more in the 3D printing community, with people using them to engrave certain prints or polishing the print lines to give it a cleaner look overall. So a must-have for 3D printers, the DIY projects, a really useful kit for the price of $50. Now speaking of the DIYer, these two gadgets are a match made in heaven. For the number 5 spot from July's episode is the Pine64 PINECIL, a super tiny, lightweight, customizable soldering iron that is way better than the old soldering iron I've been using, and is a fraction of the price for 10 times the features. My old soldering iron that I used for years for like keyboard builds and other projects was just bulky and had this heavy cable that was always at risk of pulling it down off my desk, or the temperature was inconsistent. But here, as you can see, this is completely the opposite. For being so tiny, this heats up fast. Like I'm showing you here in real time how quickly this gets to the set temperature, which is all adjustable up to 400 degrees Celsius in increments of 1 degree. I think from being off to the top temperature, it takes like 12 seconds, which is crazy fast. And there's some smart features like a rest detection that can tell when you put this down so it can quickly cool off. All customizable, by the way, and then you can set how long it sits before it goes to rest, change the resting temperature and so on. Then the second it detects you picking it back up, it'll heat right back to where you left off. I'm not kidding you, pretty much every aspect of the soldering iron can be customized with the 2 buttons in that little OLED display. Things like your menu options, animation speeds, the text size, screen contrast, boot up temperatures, boost modes, your power source, your voltage settings, calibrating your input voltage, limiting your voltage. Just so much stuff you can set inside this that's way too impressive for its own right. I don't even know what half of it means. You can also buy different tips and sizes since the stock pencil just comes with your standard welding tip, and swapping them out is as easy as like a hot swap. You pop it in and out, tighten the screw to keep it in place, and then everything just takes a matter of seconds. So for all the fun projects, this is gonna have your back. I've been modding some Game Boys recently, also use this to fix up some old PS1s that I have, and the fact that I can just plug this in and be good to go within like 10 seconds for a quick fix has been awesome. Especially considering this is just under $40, which is a steal for a gadget that can do so much and to add to your arsenal. Alright, for this next one, I need you to trust me for a second, give me a few minutes of your time, it'll all make sense. From June's episode is this 7-inch touchscreen. Alright, now like I said, just hear me out. This isn't even going to be necessarily about the screen itself, because I'm going to focus more on what you can do with this to be a game changer at the setup. But yes, the 7-inch touchscreen here is crucial to pulling this off. So by now you know Elgato released their virtual Stream Deck update, letting you create a Stream Deck virtually anywhere on your PC. So you combine that now with a touchscreen, and you have your very own custom Stream Deck that can do anything you want. So let's take a look at how you can do this. And if you've ever used a Stream Deck, then you know the software and setup is no different, except now you have that virtual device tab, letting you create any setup with up to 8 rows and columns. You can adjust the size of the keys, the frame color, the opacity. But just a note, you do need an Elgato product already to unlock this. And that's any of the Stream Decks, from the products to Stream Deck Mobile. So odds are you'll already be able to unlock this. Once you have your desired setup and workflow, you can then just either have it, on your screen at all times, use like a hotkey to hide it, or like I'm doing here, use a secondary touchscreen to literally use this like a Stream Deck. Its 1024 by 600 resolution of the pixel density here at 7 inches is more than enough, so during use it's not going to look blurry or pixelated, and you won't be misclicking. I have it set up with my most used apps and websites, so like my main hub for everything on the day-to-day. Then from there, things like a complete Spotify UI can be customized, so I can have my controls, change up my playlists, launch my favorite albums and so on, all customizable. And things like my editing programs with all the hotkeys and macros set for quick functions while editing. Something else cool you can do is hide the empty keys, so you can have them on different parts of your screen without like blank borders everywhere. This is going to allow you to kind of like create clusters of macros. It's just a really cool integration, and as a macro pad lover, I've always been a fan of the Stream Decks and what Elgato's been doing. So having this virtually now with their marketplace, with thousands of profiles and plugins already available, it's a cool way to take your setup and overall productivity to the next level. And again, with this 7-inch touchscreen, it works really well and just great for a secondary display at the desk. Just gotta make sure you calibrate it in your Windows settings under the touch control settings so it can act as its own independent screen. A really great gadget for the setup at $50. Winding on down to the number 3 spot from February is this Vobot mini docking station, which is truly one of a kind, a do-it-all hub that has a built-in screen, apps, RGB, 5 USB ports, Ethernet, HDMI. It's open source, so yeah, this thing is like a Hall of Famer candidate. This is actually meant to be a dedicated dock for your laptop, with the 90-watt USB-C, the different pass-throughs for plugging in peripherals, and obviously the benefit of the HDMI to hook it up to a monitor if you want. And that's all definitely cool if you need a crazy laptop dock, but just by itself, I think it's a dope addition to the setup to be a smart hub for everything. It does take some time to understand the ins and outs, but this can be used to monitor your CPU and GPU temps with their IDA64 integration. It has stuff like a Pomodoro timer, your local weather, calendar, stocks, games, All this stuff built into the dock itself with the added bonus of all that extra I/O to power the rest of your gear at your setup. The screen is only 320 by 240, so nothing crazy here, but it's still more than viewable at a glance. And with it being open source, you can customize all the settings and all the information just on your browser. You can even create your own widgets and apps to put on this. That's a bit out of my league, admittedly. I'm just showing you what's natively on the dock itself. So again, for having this right at the desk setup, you can plug in your mouse receiver, some USBs in the back, have it mounted off to the side, and everything is just controlled here as the pass-through. Now, demoing the screen mirroring with tight VNC was kind of tricky, and the only real useful way that I found to do this was with Spotify, just using like the little pop-out mini player and then mirroring that little portion of the display. Honestly, it was not worth to go through the headache of using tight VNC, so I wouldn't recommend doing that. I was just kind of showing you what you can do, especially considering the fact that if you just connect this to your phone via Bluetooth, you can use their Now Playing app built in with Spotify, and it's gonna do the same exact thing, just minus, album artwork. But just having this, right in front of you at the setup, and then like I said, with all the hardware monitoring apps with IDA64 and Afterburner, when I'm gaming, you can just keep an eye on temps. And by the way, they do have a full write-up tutorial on how to integrate these features, so definitely helpful because it has the download links and a step-by-step guide to run you through it all. But the monitoring stuff is pretty straightforward, since I'm sure 95% of you guys already have used Afterburner in the past. So I'm telling you guys, I didn't even go over like 1/100th of what this thing can do. As a quick integration, a few minutes, this could be like a 2 to 3 hour video just on this Vobot mini docking station. So if you do pick this up, take the time to learn it, have some patience, because once you do, the possibilities are really endless. I mean, I've been doing this series for 10 years now, and this has gotta be one of the most versatile gadgets I've ever checked out. A great gadget for $45. For the number 2 spot, this one surprised me the most. I didn't think this would even appear, but here we are. The number 2 most sold item 2025 is gonna be this electric air duster. This is a 2-in-1 handheld vacuum and 200,000 RPM blower, which is absolutely clutch for keeping the desktop clean of dust, your pets, crumbs, anything. This is gonna blow into oblivion. Inside the box has a bunch of different tips and nozzles, and it's gonna be useful for blowing down your mouse pad and your keyboard. There's an easy way to keep everything clean at the setup, so it's not gonna interfere with your mouse while you're gaming or damaging your mouse skates. Especially if you're at your desk all day, you've probably got some accumulation between those keycaps, and that's gonna blow that all right out of there. Also gonna be useful for keeping the PC clean by blowing out all the dust from your vents and the grill cover of your case. And let's be real, when's the last time you actually remembered to do that? 200,000 RPMs is no joke. It's like a mini leaf blower. And yeah, instead of sweeping the garage of all the dead leaves from the fall and my kids going in and out of the garage while it's open, this could just knock out a sweeping job in a few minutes. It's literally a handheld leaf blower. And in addition to all the blowing, it also does the sucking. Popping on the vacuum attachment on the other side now lets you clean up all the debris you just blew all over your desk. So really, a quick vacuum job on the mouse pad, gonna accomplish the same thing. Got some crumbs and stuff, just vacuum it all up if you don't want to be blowing it everywhere. Again, just all about keeping your setup clean with a versatile 2-in-1 gadget that's extremely powerful, bunch of tips and nozzles, 3 different power modes, 200,000 RPM, sucking and blowing for the price of $40. You've got yourself a deal. I actually just keep mine in my car. It can get messy with 2 little ones, so for everything this can do, helps keep it all clean, definitely a handy gadget at that price. And now for the number 1 most purchased product that you guys bought from all of the Cool Tech under $50 episodes this year is actually a pretty crazy value. That's this 15-inch portable monitor. Now, I know that kind of seems too good to be true, which is why I had to buy it and check it out for myself, because a 15-inch 1080p USB-C and mini HDMI display that also has built-in speakers, a headphone jack, has VESA mounting holes, and a protective flip case that just seems insane. And it is. It's really light and slim too, so whether you're using this, as a secondary laptop display on the go, or as a staple to your desk setup, you're not gonna have any problems getting this integrated with your workflow. Now, at this point, there's been a bunch of different displays and different screen integrations we featured before, not only today, but over the years. But definitely none at this size, so you probably get the idea by now on how you can use this or implement it into your setup. A lot of my go-tos are just with Spotify. I've showed it how many times, but that works nicely with different wallpaper engine displays. So there's all different use cases with wallpaper engine if you're familiar, having just like dedicated screen for Discord, social media, or even with gaming. This is more than capable of just being its own output for your Switch or like your Steam Deck. And even with like PC gaming, some games let you use secondary screens for like your map or an inventory. You can get creative. For all my editors out there, having a little display just for your clips or project bins is always clutch. Even something like monitoring your scopes while color grading. Again, just repeating myself at this point, these are all things I've said hundreds of times in the past. I just really like the versatility here. Factoring in the speakers, headphone jack, the magnetic cover, and with it being just a full 1080p display at this size, makes it unheard of for the price. So definitely understandable why this comes in at number 1 today. A 15-inch portable monitor under 50 bucks. Definitely a pretty good deal for the size, the features, everything this can do. And like I said, you guys bought this more than anything the entire year. So that'll wrap it up for the top 10 cool tech under 50 for 2025, the end of the year tech gadget extravaganza. Hope you all enjoyed. Like I said, everything we showed off will be listed for you guys in the description down below so you can check it out. Holidays coming up. Hopefully you found some good gift ideas to buy somebody else or things to ask for the holidays. Either way, all listed for you in the description down below. If you like this video, if it helped you out, give it a big thumbs up to show your support. Feel free to follow me on all socials at randomfrankp. And lastly, guys, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Well, I'm Random Frank P. Hope you enjoyed. Happy holidays.